age comes with gray hair, a hunchback, and false teeth. No one wants that. But if you were able to look back in your life and smile at all the things you got to experience throughout your life, wouldn't that old age be worth it? That's what my grandpa did. Even though my grandpa passed away a year ago, he had left a noticeable imprint on my family's life. He lived his life through his values. Faith, family, and hard work were the three most important values to him. Even though faith wasn't part of his early childhood, he soon realized that he needed it in his life when he joined the U.S. Air Force. The struggles were catching up with him. He was far away from the love of his life, and the military hardships were almost too much for him to take. Just when he was about to give up, he met a Catholic priest, and that priest helped him gain a relationship with Jesus. Through his free time, he spent most of his time taking classes and becoming a devoted Catholic. And as soon as he returned home, he married the love of his life and began a new life in Jesus. Every Sunday at 8 a.m. church, I saw my grandpa. And even though my dad dragged each of my siblings and I out of bed early, every Sunday, the complaining from us would stop as soon as communion time came around. When I saw my grandpa and grandma in the communion line, each of my siblings and I would stretch our hands out way far and would receive a high five from my grandpa and grandma. It was the highlight of my time at church. And my grandpa, because he liked giving high fives. Some people, together with his faith and family, he showed that faith can bring you something you do not expect. Family. When people asked him if he had decided to have such a big family, he would give the same response. No, I didn't, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Having a big family hasn't always been peaches and creams, but there's moments when it all comes together that it just makes everything better. My grandpa was blessed with 9 children, 32 grandchildren, and 28 and counting great-grandchildren. And I can say he loved each and every one of us with all he had. During the family holidays, I'd see him wandering around the room with tears in his eyes, because he would tell me how could he be so blessed to have so many people to call his and to love. A lot of people don't understand how you can love that many people at the same time, but my grandpa managed it. I was one of 32 grandchildren, and I didn't really have one-on-one time with my grandpa, but when I did, I felt nothing but love from him. The best days I had as a child was spending the times at my grandparents' house. A lot of the time, my grandpa was outside working on the farm, but he would come inside, sit down with us, and eat Fig Newton cookies with us. I was the 24th grandchild born, and sometimes I felt like I was completely invisible in the family. But when I look at this photo, I realize that to my grandpa, I was never invisible. Having a big family was not easy, but he made it work through hard work. After he arrived back from the Air Force, he began farming. He farmed on his uncle's land for several years until he had enough money raised to buy his own farm. Over the years, he added more and more acres to his farm, and doubling it in size and workload. As years went on, he wasn't able to rely on farming alone, so he became a seed sales representative. He was a representative and farmer for 10 years, until his children were old enough to help out on the farm. His children learned that through him, hard work was something that paid off in the end, because you can have a greater satisfactions for the things you liked. He believed in hard work because without it, he wouldn't have had the family he had. Faith, family, and hard work gave him something that he could never forget, his life. When I'm older, I want to be able to look back on my life and smile and be proud of all that I've accomplished like my grandpa. Life is a beautiful thing when spent with the people you love and the things that make you